Sometimes I feel like a veal stuffed in a corner when I'm filming. It's quite funny. Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining me today. If you are new, welcome, and I hope you like me, and I hope you want to stick around and see if you actually do like me. And if you are one of my amazing returning friends, thank you as always. So today I wanted to do a Boxycharm try-on. Now we didn't obviously get a full face of products, but we got a lot of products that I can certainly try, and then I just have some other things that I've supplemented in just to make it a little bit more fun. We didn't get an eyeshadow palette this time, so I have a couple of eyeshadow palettes that I had requests for from you guys, so I thought I would toss them in there as well. So as you can see, I basically have on like my moisturizer and things like that. We did get the No Problem Prime Essence in our box, so I figured I would start with that. So this is very watery, so I did shake it up, of course, and it makes it a little bit more viscous, a little thicker. It has a very slight scent to it. Definitely does feel like it has an oil base, which I need. I really think my skin has normalized with the skincare that I've been using, but I would definitely not call myself oily, but I'm not dry because I don't have any significant dry patches on my face. I just happen to have mature skin, and I prefer a dewy finish. Now this isn't really a new product, but you've never actually seen me try it on camera. It's something that I got at TJ Maxx, and it is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Liquid. I use this, most of my cream products like this, as an all-over shimmer product, just to give a little bit more light to my face. So guys, I know that I've gotten some comments recently that the background noise, the TV and stuff, is really distracting, and I really do apologize. I try to edit out the background noise in editing. Sometimes it's impossible to get the sound out completely. It's just the nature of where I'm filming and how loud the TV is. I'm sorry, my parents are hard of hearing, and I can't ask them, to turn off the TV. That's what they do. That's what they enjoy. I can't ask them to do that so that I can film. So I really do apologize for those of you that it bothers, and I'm just really sorry, and I wish I had quiet, and I wish I had a better space to film, but I don't. This is my circumstance, so I thank you in advance for your understanding about that. We got this Babassu foundation, the Foundcealer. This is from Tarte. This is basically skincare and a foundation in one. I have been wanting to try this, but I'm so glad that I got the sample so that I don't actually have to go out and buy it if I don't like it. I think this is in the color 22B Light Beige. I don't know if this is the right color for me. I put 2 pumps on the back of my hand. It's a rather thick foundation, as you can see. It is not really running down my hand. It's a little moussey, but not as moussey as the Amazonian Clay foundation that I just got. I will tell you that moussey foundations tend to sit in my pores. Now also I want to say, I'm trying out this primer, and normally I go in with my Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer in this area to smooth my pores and lines, but I want to just test this out today. Just so you know, my skin does feel quite tacky. If you notice, I have a little bit of tack to my skin. Let's hope this is a good color. The undertone is very good. I do like that. This lighting is so terrible for me, even with my ring light. So it's always hard for me to get a true judgment of the color until I go into my bedroom and look in my Simple Human mirror, which is the most amazing mirror I have ever owned. Granted, it is expensive. I got it a year and a half ago with the Nordstrom anniversary sale. It's the best investment that I made. This is seeming to have very, I'd say, light coverage. I don't currently have much to cover, but I can still see my hyperpigmentation, and I'm looking in the camera and it's looking like I'm a little ghostly. Of course, I'll be able to warm that up with bronzer and such. But I think that I like this because it's not looking cakey. It is not a matte foundation at all. It's definitely a dewy foundation. It may be made more dewy because of the primer. For powder, I use my Coty Airspun, and of course underneath my eyes, my Laura Mercier under eye setting powder. For concealers, I'm using the Born This Way concealer in the color Light Beige, followed up by the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear. Although this is too light on its own underneath my eyes, I do put it down here, and I also will use it to brighten up other areas of my face. As I said, I always find a way to make products work because I do not return product. As far as this foundation goes, I think it looks pretty darn good. In my mirror, I was very satisfied with the texture of my skin, how everything looked. The powder is sitting well on top of it. It's really not sitting in any of my lines. I think I like it, and I'm exhausted. My skin is tired and dehydrated, so of course I don't know how it's going to wear, etc. But of course, I'll keep you up to date on that stuff, because I always really try to do that. What I do want to try is this Tartelette, Tarte Pro Glow 3. This is my second one that I have of this. The other one that I have is different in that the setup is different and it has no blushes. It's just a highlighter and contour palette and has one cream contour. I'm going to use this one for my contour and this for an all-over bronzer. By the way, look at how this folds back. I know you can see everything here. It folds back beautifully and it creates one nice mirror. So I really kind of like that aspect of it. And because these two sides are magnetic, it creates the magnet behind. It's a simple things that I really enjoy. So this one is slightly more cool toned. I have not played with this yet. That was a combination of played and tried, and I said trade. It's a little warm to be a contour on me. I have the hardest time finding a proper contour shade. I'm using my Luxie 680. Luxie makes a really good brush, and I've been so blessed and lucky that I have not had to purchase any of them myself. I received them all in subscription boxes. But if I had to purchase them, I would. I'm not going to contour my nose or anything like that because I don't do that on a daily basis. I do not have time for that in the morning. I do like to contour and bronze, but I can't imagine spending actual time on that. Let's go into this more reddish toned. They're very pigmented, so sometimes I will tap them on the back of my hand. I can always add more, but it's hard to take off. Sometimes I feel like a veal stuffed in a corner when I'm filming. It's quite funny. Another annoying thing I'm trying to stop myself from doing is closing one eye when I bronze and blush and things like that. That annoys me. It must be annoying to you. You never really notice your annoying habits until you're watching yourself back in your footage. Then you go to yourself, why do I make that face? Why am I doing that? But like most people, I'm sure that we all have our things that we're self-conscious about or, everything. We're human, and I think we all have that. It's hard to decide which color I want to do here. I'm using a very dense brush. This is one of the crown brushes that we also received in our Boxycharm quite a while back, sometime maybe a year and a half ago. I'm just tapping into both of them, and as you see, I tap the excess off my hand because it is indeed pigmented. If you want a lighter, diffuse more color, I should say, just use a dual fiber brush or a more fluffy brush. And of course, you know that the foundation does not have denatured alcohol in it. So far, that palette is performing beautifully. I didn't think that it wouldn't because I really do enjoy my other one. Did I need another one of these palettes? No, of course not. But I'm really glad that I got it in my box so that I can use it and enjoy it. I brought out two eyeshadow palettes. One that you saw in one of my hauls that I did quite a while back, and a few people, not many, a couple had requested that I try it. It is the Mar palette from ColourPop. I love ColourPop shadows tremendously. They had the Mar and the Soul palette. I wanted the Soul palette as well, but I didn't get it. But this one has a gorgeous array of colors. It's got a beautiful blue and a beautiful purple, and it also has some nice neutral shades that you can utilize for creases and things like that. So I have that. I also never showed you guys this. I got this at the 20% off sale from Sephora, plus this was already on sale. This was the Fenty Beauty Kilowatt Foil Palette. Technically, it's a highlighter palette. I only used 2 or 3 of the colors for highlight. I used the rest of them for eyeshadows because they are eye safe and the colors are gorgeous. Now, I could never imagine me wearing some of these colors as a highlight. For me personally, my taste, my skin tone. But as an eyeshadow palette, the formula is fantastic. I'm just going to swatch there. Oh my, they're so soft. This one in the center I wear for highlight on my face quite often. And I am going to be doing a blue look today because I also have this Liquid Moon Dust eyeshadow from Urban Decay. I got this recently at Nordstrom. Now, the color is stunning. It's like a blue or purple. And I'm thinking that they're supposed to be like the Glitter and Glow from from Stila. I'm just surprised because I expected to pull out a doe foot applicator and this is actually a brush. Ooh, this is interesting. Could almost use it as liner. Now it's a little bit sheer. You know how the Glitter and Glows go on very opaque in one swipe for the most part? This is a little bit more sheer and I did have to build that up. I also have that I got from Nordstrom Rack. You guys got to go to Nordstrom Rack. Yes, they are usually priced about $1 higher per item, but you can get, you know, in TJ Maxx when you go online, they don't have everything like when you go into store. On NordstromRack.com, you can get everything that is in store, and you know that no one swatched it or touched it. This is the Urban Decay Double Team. It is the Special Effects Colored Mascara. I've been dying to jump into this colored mascara trend. See now, you have to understand that in the 80s it was a trend. And yes, along with my gigantic hair, I also followed the colored mascara trend. So I got this blue, and it's just very nostalgic. That's one color blue, and this is a really electric colored blue. This reminds me of my Loreal eyeshadow primer that I have, so I'm super excited to try this. That's why I'm going to do a blue look today. So let's begin with the Morphe palette, and I'm going to take this color called Sorbet. It's just a very neutral brown matte color. These are also very pigmented. And I forgot to set my eyelid. I am going to set my eyes with my MAC paint stick that my amazing friend Anya sent to me because I'm going to be doing some heavy foiling on my lids. So I'm just going to tap this in first. This MAC paint stick is pretty darn cool. Now, because I already have shadow on, I'm going to take my Sigma Cut Crease brush and I'm just going to put this on my lid. This will give those foiled shadows a little bit more impact. So the end of the school year is coming and it is very, very hectic. I do work all summer. I think I will be taking a few days off during the summer because I have some pretty cool video ideas that I want to film and I need like the time to do it. I have so many ideas of videos that I want to do and I'm going back in, and the time, there's just not enough time. There's not enough time to film, there's not enough time to edit, and so my book of ideas just keeps piling up. But again, with my New York State pension, you would have to pry my cold dead hands away from my desk to get me out of my job. Because I lived my life with so much instability for so many years, and some of the things that I have gone through, I cannot give up the stability of a paycheck. That's the one thing, it's the one thing I can control, and you're darn well tootin' that I am not letting it go. When you're by yourself, and I will be by myself for a very long time, you have to think financially, you have to think smart, and know, yes, this is a fun job, but the instability of it and the fact that it could all go away in an instant is not a risk I am willing to take. I'm going to use a Morphe M330, and I'm actually going to take this gorgeous electric blue color, and I'm going to add that in my crease. So I know I didn't upload for like 3 days. I was a bit MIA. I do have so much going on in my personal life. The exhaustion level took over and I was getting home late, and I have the videos pre-filmed. I didn't even have the energy to sit down and edit. And I don't like going 3 days without filming or uploading because this is so much fun for me. But I'm not a machine, and the exhaustion takes over and just shuts me down, which is annoying. But I know that some of you can probably relate. So I'm going to be doing a couple of get ready with me's in a row because I have a juicy story to tell you guys. And I will be needing your honest thoughts and opinions. I absolutely love ColourPop eyeshadows. You know, they're good shadows for a really reasonable price, and the problem is I want more of them. Like, I want the main squeeze palette. I never got the blue palette. I gave the green palette to my mom. Then they have the purple palette. Do you see where I'm going here? See what I'm getting at? Yeah. It's the problem. I'm actually going to go and take my NYX blending brush here. It's number 16. And I'm going to go back into that brown color. And I'm just going to kind of blend this out a little bit. I also wanted to tell you guys, I just have so much to tell you. I swear this is like a therapy session for me. On July 12th, I have to have some eye surgery. And I'm terrified. I have glaucoma. I got diagnosed with glaucoma about 4 years ago out of the blue. I also want to tell you, please get your eyes checked every year, no matter what. Because if I didn't, I would be blind right now because my numbers were so high. I don't know what glaucoma is. It is a buildup of pressure in your eye. It's like a blood pressure for your eyeball. There is a little tube that drains the fluid from your eye, and when there's something wrong with that tube, or it's closed, or it is damaged in some way, the fluid builds up, doesn't have a way to drain, and the pressure builds up in your eye, and you can go acutely blind very, very quickly. What happened was, eyes felt heavy, like heavy and tired, and they looked droopy. And it was unusual for me. And I went to the eye doctor because I needed a new pair of glasses anyway. And I had brought it up to the ophthalmologist. And, you know, before she took the pressure, before she did the puff test of the pressure in my eyes, and she said to me, oh, you know, you are aging. It's probably just an age thing. You know, you might have to see, you know, a surgeon. They do an upper eyelid lift. It's like, but no, but they feel heavy. Like it just doesn't feel right. And she went on to say, well, it's really probably, you know, nothing. It's probably more cosmetic. And I was about to accept that for an answer. And then she did the pressure test. I'm going to take a little bit of this dark chocolate brown, which is top down. And I'm using my Juvia's Place brush, which is the 006. So she did the pressure in my eyes, and if you've ever or not had one, you have to look into this machine, and you have to look at the dot. And I did that, and she did the puff, and then she went, it's never a good sound to hear. And she's like, are you looking at the green or the red dot? I can't remember. And I said, yes, I'm looking at it. And she did it again. And she did it again. And then she did the other eye. And she did that one 3 times. And she goes, you sure you're looking at that dot? I was like, yes, how many times do I have to tell you I'm looking at the dot? She goes, we have a little problem. The pressure in my eye, which is supposed to be anywhere from 7 to 12 or so, was 65, and the other one was like 58. That's really, really bad. And immediately she got on the phone with a glaucoma specialist that happened to be in the same town. And she got me an emergency appointment, and they took me right in immediately as soon as they heard my numbers. So to make a long story short, I have been on eye drops, which is why I have nice eyelashes, by the way, because you know that stuff they sell over the counter, not over the counter, it's Latisse, and it makes your eyelashes grow, and the reason they found it is because of glaucoma medication, and yes, it does make your eyelashes grow beautifully. It's the one perk of having glaucoma, I guess. But so I've been on these drops, and they kind of control my pressure, but my pressure like hovers around in the 20s, and that's still not a good number to have. I'm now going to go into this Fenty palette, and I use my fingers a lot, and I also wet the shadows. I'm just taking that blue one. So the drops aren't completely maintaining, or they at that time were not maintaining the pressure well enough. So my doctor said that we really needed to try the surgery. Now the surgery is a long name. I will look it up and I will put it on the screen because I cannot remember the specifics of it. So I had that surgery, and let me put it this way. If you don't like graphic details, I suggest you maybe skip ahead just a touch. Basically, it's laser surgery. The pain, you're not strapped down or anything, but you cannot move. It is a laser that they zap your eye with that opens up or tries to create a new pathway for that drain to let the fluid out. I don't know if any of you have ever had an ice pick stuck through your eyeball into the back of your brain, and then, but make sure the ice pick is burning hot, by the way. That was the type and level of pain that I experienced. Fun, right? I'm taking my little small definer brush from Juvia's Place, the 002, and I am going to go into this icy color here. Granted, the surgery is only about 8 to 10 minutes for each eye. You know, they only do one eye at a time, you know, just in case they blind you, you know, because you have to sign something that says, you know, that could happen. Possibility is there. So when I tell you the pain, and you can't move, and you can't jerk, and you can't cry, and you can't scream out, felt like I was dying inside. It was the most excruciating thing I think I've ever felt. When I got out of the surgery, and I burst into tears because of the pain, and I was still experiencing pain even after it was done. It's like, you know how a burn continues to hurt when you burn yourself? The pain gets worse as time progresses. Well, literally, like, my head was throbbing. It was awful. I'm also going to go into the center color. And then afterwards, what happens is your eyes are extremely photosensitive. For several weeks, I could not even go out into the sunlight without extreme pain in my left eye. The other thing is, which is just it's a cosmetic thing, but the laser obliterates the color in your iris, so it turns it, basically, it kind of kills it. It turns it gray. So the way my doctor did it, she did it cosmetically so that it sits above where my eye hits, so only if you lift up in my eye can you see the obliterated color, the lack of pigment that is there, and it's gray. It's zombie-like, but for the most part it is hidden. Well, needless to say, that surgery really didn't work, because when she went back in after the eye healed and everything, the angle was, they call it narrow angle glaucoma. It was still basically closed. It may have opened it just a touch, but it didn't work. It didn't create the normal flow that is supposed to happen. So through all of that pain and agony, it was not a success. I'm going to go back into the Morphe palette. I'm going to take this deep brown again, taking another Luxie brush, and I'm going to go on my bottom lash line. So since then, I have been on a myriad of medications. I have been on, at one point, 5 different drops and an oral pill at the same time to try to maintain the pressure in my eye. Well, I went the other day for another checkup, and the pressure is back up to the mid-20s. And I can feel a lot of people do not have symptoms, which is why glaucoma can be so devastating, because before you realize it, you have gone blind. But I started to feel some heaviness, and my eye has been twitching a lot, especially my left one. So, and when I went, my numbers were back up into the 20s again. It's like, she goes, if you have an acute attack, your numbers are going to shoot up into the 80 range, and then it's going to be too late. So she really wants to try the surgery again, and if this surgery doesn't work, there is another surgery where they actually have to cut into your eyeball, not with a laser, but with a knife, and basically it's more like a very invasive cataract surgery, and that one I am not awake for at all. But that is a last resort. I'm actually going to take this grid lock, this sparkly blue, on the same brush. I have to have the surgery on the 12th. I will only be out of commission, hopefully, for a couple of days. I honestly have to see how this ring light is going to affect, or how I'm going to be able to tolerate the intense light. They are doing this eye this time, but here's the issue, is that she cannot, in looking in my eye for this eye, she cannot do it cosmetically so that the laser spot is up above and underneath where you can't see. She has to basically do it right next to my pupil. And so it's going to, I'm going to lose the color in there. And again, big deal? No, not necessarily, but I will have a little zombie eye. Maybe it could be exotic to some people. Who knows? But if it's a matter of going blind or having a little bit of a zombie eye, I think I'll take the zombie eye. I didn't get to use this Moon Dust eyeshadow. Let's just, like, why not add some more? Let's see what it does here. You can't really see it, but this is pretty darn cool. You can totally use this as a liner. It's not super wet, and I don't think you can see it. I'll do a close-up, but it did add a little bit of that extra blue there, and you can do some pretty cool things with this. So I'm very glad that I got it, and I think I paid like, $7 for it, and they were originally like $22, so yay for me. Now, I don't have any new eyeliners. I do have a brow liner. So let me do my brows with you, show you what I got. We just got this Brow Gal eyebrow thing with the spoolie on one end. I will speed through this because the brows are boring. I tried it a little bit in the video. I think we got this in Allure, maybe? I don't know. I'm not used to a pencil brow thingy liner, whatchamacallit, but it does have a very nice sharpener, and I want to try it because I had brows on before, so I really couldn't get a good idea. Okay, now normally, honestly, I'm really a perfectionist with my brows, but I'm only taking this makeup off after I edit, and so I didn't take as long as I usually do, but I did get a very good idea of how I like it. It gets a little thick in here, so I have to maybe take more of my time to get the precise line. The color is a perfect color for me. This is like, I think, is medium brown 4, excuse me. And the color for me is perfect, so if you have my hair color and brow color, you will like this. You do have to be a little cautious in being a little light-handed up at the front here. And you're not going to get those brush-like strokes, but I do like what it does. It's much creamier than you would think for a sharpenable pencil. So it doesn't feel as creamy on your hand as it does on your brows. So, and it's not overly waxy. So I do like it. And if I take more of my time with it, I will really enjoy it as well. Okay, so I did finish off my eyes with some eyeliner. I used the Ico London Black eyeliner for just the top. I didn't go too intense, although this would look fabulous, especially a winged liner. And then, which I love, which you've heard me talk about, this is the Wonder 2, the Super Stay liner in blue. These go so well in your waterline. They are so pigmented. They blow the ColourPop liners away. Granted, there is a price difference, but these really stay in your waterline and are opaque and look gorgeous. I'm so glad that I got them. I'm going to try this other thing that we got in our Boxy. This is the Skin & Co. Aqua Luminous Truffle Therapy Face Mist. Okay. Still smells like foot spray. I feel like I'm spraying foot spray on my face. Do you know that peppermint one? It still does. I can't get over that. Feels nice. My face doesn't feel tight. Just if you don't like a peppermint spray in your face, well, you might want to avoid that. But we have to try. We have to try this one. This is the Trestique mascara with the torture device, the little Pez dispenser. Let's see if this thing actually works. It's quite cumbersome, to be honest with you, because obviously you can't get your lashes in one fell swoop in this little thing. It doesn't pinch or tug my lashes. One thing I can say is that, do you know when you get too close to your lash line with a metal eyelash curler that it can pinch and hurt? I just got very up close to my base, my lash line, and it didn't pinch or hurt anything because there's nothing on here to pinch or hurt. The problem is I couldn't get these end lashes well enough. Like I can't see what I'm doing in order to get that side. Like even here. It does work okay for the inner. Now the $1,000,000 question is, does it curl my lashes? I have naturally just uplifted lashes, so I can't tell if it's giving me a dramatic result or not. I will zoom in editing, and you guys can look. You saw the before and after. I honestly don't know. I'm going to try this side one more time. I think it might have done something, but I don't know. Is it a little gimmicky? I'd say so. Now, I didn't put my primer on for my eyelashes that I normally do because I want to go in with this mascara and just judge the mascara on its own. It does have that hourglass, rather thin, bristled brush. It looks like a natural hairbrush. My poor friend Abby from Abadabs, her channel, she got an empty one. I felt so bad. The poor thing was sitting there 5 minutes like, what am I doing wrong? The tube was completely empty. They messed up and did not put any mascara in there. It is not clumping. I think it's more of a lengthening mascara than a thickening. Do I know whether the curler has really done anything? I didn't hate it like I thought I would. I think it might have done something. I have very small lashes or small eyes. This might be fabulous for you. So I think it might be something of a personal preference. Do I know if I'm going to use it every time? I don't. I said because it is a little cumbersome. But overall, kind of an ingenious idea if you really think about it. Now we're going to go back into the TARTE palette here. And I do want to take a brush and add some of this to my brow bone. Of course, I am using my BH Cosmetics fan brush. I still haven't gotten more of them because I just can't justify buying more brushes right now. I just went into this shade. These two shades are so very similar to each other. Let's add some highlight. I'm going to swatch these again so you guys can see the color differences. They're so soft, by the way. Okay, so when you actually put them on the skin, this one has a more pinky tone and this is more golden. And so I think I'm going to go more into the pinky toned one. I think these highlighters are absolutely stunning. I'm using one of my favorite highlighting brushes, which is a Moto brush that we got in some kind of box. I'm just going to wet my brush because I'm that extra. And I am going to go into the gold because I'm that extra. I knew I was going to like this palette, so there's absolutely no doubt in my mind it's a good palette. Do I think I would pay the $45 for it? I don't know. But since I didn't have to, I don't have to think about that. The matte black packaging does get quite dirty and fingerprinty, but I love the texture of it. You just have to deal with the, you know, it getting dirty. It just means your products are well loved when they are dirty. I don't know what I got box I got this in, but is the Dominique Cosmetics. Did I get it in my Boxycharm? Maybe? I am going to put on a new lipstick that I bought, but I cannot wait to try this lemonade because I actually haven't tried it yet. And this stuff smells like cake batter. It's amazing. Oh my goodness. It smells like that raw cake batter that you... I just love it. I can't even stop talking about it. Did get 2 new lipsticks because they were on sale. They were half price. This is the Chloe and Malika collection. I also got the palette, which I am going to be doing in another new makeup trying things on, but I got 2 colors. This is Yours Truly. This packaging from Becca. I love Becca packaging because they're magnetic and luxurious. It's a lovely nude. Maybe a nice dupe for some other nude lipsticks that really nobody wants to buy right now, if you know what I mean. Look at how pretty that is. I'm most definitely a nude girl. No, well, nude lipstick wearer kind of girl. Oh boy. And this one I believe is Cupid's Kiss. They had 2 deeper shades too, but I knew that those wouldn't look good on me. You know, now I'm examining every lipstick, by the way. Looks pretty normal to me. There's no fuzzies. There's nothing growing out of it. What a concept. This one is just a little bit pinkier, and this one's more peachy. I think I'm going to go with the Cupid's Kiss today, and I have a couple of liners. I love the Urban Decay 24/7 lip liners as well as the eyeliners too. Let's just try these 3 and see which one will go really well. This is 1993. I also have that lipstick as well. It's a Stark Naked. Wow, Leanne, great swatches. 1993 is the darker, Stark Naked is next to it. I think Stark Naked is going to look beautiful, so that is what I'm going to use today. So as I was saying, to conclude what I was talking about with my eyeballs, so I'm going to be on a commission for just a couple of days, so I am going to pre-film some videos. I just wanted you guys to know about it, and I would love to know if any of you guys know somebody who experienced this or has glaucoma, or if you do. You know, I just like sharing what's going on in my life with you guys because you're always so supportive and so just amazing that I know that I can talk to you about my fears and what's going on in my life, and you will support me, and that's why I love you. One of the reasons I love you tremendously. Let's try this. Oh yeah, I said these are currently on sale for half price. They are $14. I will link them below. Yes, it's going to be an affiliate link that I make about 10 to 20 cents on maybe, but these are only $14. I wouldn't have paid the full price for them because I just don't like to pay $20 to $30 for a lipstick, but for $14, these are fabulous. The formula is gorgeous and I love it. Let's try the lip gloss. It smells so good. This is very sheer. You could wear this on its own for just like that sheer wash of color, but I think it looks really pretty on top of more matte lipsticks. These are not matte. These are just a beautiful satin, comfortable, creamy color. I have several of the Becca Love lipsticks. I adore them, but I wait till they are on sale. Let's finish off some more. Oh, you know what I didn't do? All right, wait. I gotta do it, guys. I gotta do it. Hold on. Hold that thought. Let's throw a little bit of the blue on top and see what happens. I may completely ruin this look, but it really doesn't matter because I'm not going anywhere. Let's try this. I'm going to try the deeper blue. Oh my goodness. I just got transported back to around 1987, my friends. That is really cool. This was on super discount on Nordstrom Rack also. That is really, really cool. I really like that. Well, this, my friends, is the finished look. I like it. Kind of wish I had some of this to go, you know? But that is okay, because there is no place else I would rather be than sitting here hanging out with you guys. So let me know what you think. If you get a Boxyluxe, Boxycharm, whatever. Did you get any of the products? Have you tried them? Do you love them? Do you hate them? Do you hate this? Do you love this? Let me know. And I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and doing this with me. It was a lot of fun. And I hope whatever part of the world you're in or around, that maybe you can give this a thumbs up, or you can give it a thumbs too. I got news, guys. Engagement is engagement. Thumbs up, thumbs down, you watched, you took the time. That's all good to me. But I hope you guys know that you're loved so very much, and I hope you have an amazing week, an amazing day, an amazing everything coming up, and I'll see you very soon, and probably another Get Ready With Me. Much love, everybody. Bye.